Alright dude, so Sriracha chicken and rice pilaf. I absolutely love this recipe because it's so easy to make. It's a one-pan recipe, so there's minimal amount of cleanup. I'm coming into fall time when I'm doing this video, bringing out the root vegetables, beets and carrots, throwing in a little bit of asparagus, a lot of garlic, a lot of shallot. It's amazing, dude. Nice and hearty, delicious, spicy, flavorful. Amazing, dude. Let's go. First up, I want to go over the ingredients. I have a chicken breast that I'm going to slice on a very assertive bias. Probably get like 5 thin slices out of the chicken. I want it to cook really quick, right? And the marinade, I'm going to throw in some sriracha sauce, got lime juice, got some soy sauce, brown sugar, and we're going to season the chicken with salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder. Really simple. Doesn't really need to be very complicated for like how great the flavor is going to be. It's all about the cooking techniques that we're going to be using. Simple, methodical, but it's going to be delicious. And the pilaf itself, of course, I'm going to use brown rice. I have a dark chicken stock, shallot, garlic, and then I have a golden beet, some rainbow carrots. These things are freaking amazing. I love these carrots. They have a great amount of flavor. Each one of the colors have a different little flavor profile to them. Some are sweeter than others. Some have a little bit more earthiness to them. And then, of course, some asparagus. I just love asparagus in the fall time. So the first thing we're gonna do is slice the chicken, season it, marinate it, and then prep the vegetables, and then just keep going, okay? Slice the chicken. I don't really wanna have too much fat going on in there. So I'm gonna get like 5 slices out of this. Like I said, we're gonna go on that really heavy bias. So this is gonna cook really quick. I mean, this chicken breast will take about like 30 minutes to cook, whereas this thing will be done in 5 minutes. You know, it's all about just how quick you could really get things done, especially on a busy weeknight. This is one of those dishes that I really like to bang out on a busy weeknight or on a weekend where I don't really feel like cooking too much of a complicated dish. It's not gonna break the bank either. You don't have to like put some heavy dents in your bank account just to feed your family, you know what I mean? So for the seasoning, I have a teaspoon of garlic powder, teaspoon of black pepper, and then a tablespoon of salt. I'm probably not gonna use this whole thing. It's just more of having enough for the chicken. This should be about enough for 2 chicken breasts. I'm gonna obviously do 1 chicken breast for the recipe, but you could easily just bulk it up if you need to. One of my favorite seasoning blends for chicken is just salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder, and then like that's really it. That's all you need to do. Kind of season in the taste right here. So the marinade is really easy too. Originally, I wanted to do this recipe with my homemade sriracha sauce. I ended up having it all blended up in a mixing bowl and it knocked off the table. Kind of shit happens, right? So this is just store-bought sriracha. This is a really great sauce. It has a nice, like, good amount of heat to it. It's made from, like, a hybrid of ripened jalapenos. Good sauce, nice and mellow, and it's really versatile. So I kind of forgot that I wanted to throw that zest on that chicken. Half a cup of sriracha. I got a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. We're gonna go in with the juice of 1 lime. And then 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. It's gonna add a little bit of salt content to it and like a little bit of a umami flavor profile. That lime right up front, and then the taste of the sauce. The soy sauce should be there. It'll give a nice little salt content to it, and then the heat will come through. You want it to have flavor, you want it to have body, you don't just want it to be spicy. Okay, so I wanted to put some lime zest on here too. Put it on there, rub it on there, pat it on there. So now to the bowl with the sauce. Put in the chicken, whatever kind of vessel you have. You just want the chicken to be completely submerged in that sauce. The marinade. I'm gonna let this marinade anywhere between like 3, 4, 5 hours, something like that. Not too long. If you're going with a thicker piece of chicken, like chicken breast or thighs, you could definitely let it go closer to 8 hours. But being this is a really thin chicken, I don't want it to marinate too long because it'll make the chicken kind of weird texture, soft, break it down too much. Place it in the refrigerator while we just prep the rest of the ingredients. A couple of these carrots I'm gonna save. I'm gonna basically blanch them in hot oil, dip them in that hot oil until they're nice and crispy. It's gonna be a nice little presentation. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. It's all about like the presentation, the flavors, the textures. It's gonna add a nice crunch to the dish. Carrots, the vegetable peeler, and then we're gonna fry it, make nice little crispy ribbons. Beautiful, that's what you want. So you wanna dip them for about 20 seconds, pull them up for about a minute, and then fry them all the way until crisp. Pull them up, salt them, pepper them, good to go. You can tell when they cool down, then they'll crisp up. You can kind of tell like they'll hold their shape when you pull them out of the oil. Immediately after taking the carrots out of the oil, and then you hit them with some salt. Good stuff, dude. So it feels like it's starting to crisp up too. I mean, if I bend it, it's gonna snap. I like cutting them up different size, like thinner strips like I was showing you. And then the orange ones that are thicker kind of gives it just even more of a like a visual texture. Rice pilaf is a really hard dish to get to make look good. Little subtle things like this really make a big difference. Golden beet, one of my favorites. They're a little bit sweeter than the red. Still have a nice little earthiness to them. Square it up. You want to square it up, give yourself a nice flat surface to rest the beet on so you don't split. Gonna cut these into about like a 1/4 inch, rough dice. Golden beets, that's where it's at. Carrot, I'm not going to peel, but you can. Carrots cook quicker than the beets, so you can go a little bit bigger on the pieces. These things are really good too. They're purple on the outside and then they have yellow in the middle. Great flavor. All said and done, you could probably put this dish together in about an hour. Depends on how quick you are with a knife. I love like the sweetness that they have, but they still have a nice earthy tone to them, which I really love about carrots. Not measuring the vegetables, but I'll do my best to put what I'm using in the description for you. Really, I'm going for like equal parts rice as there is vegetables, right? If you have too much rice, it becomes too heavy, too starchy. Asparagus, same thing, dude. I start from the top and then just work my way to the bottom. And you can tell when the asparagus starts to get that woody, like kind of bite to it, because it'll start, listen, it'll make a different noise. And that's when you want to stop. As it gets too woody, too chewy, not like too like fibrous, doesn't really break down. It's not very pleasant on the palate. Make sense? Garlic, cut the root in, but you don't cut it all the way through. It'll give you a starting point to peel the paper off. Peeling garlic's not necessarily my favorite thing to do in the world, so those little tricks make it easier. You can smash it and peel the paper off, but I found that if you smash the garlic, it gets too sticky on your fingers, which I don't like. So for the garlic, I'm gonna rough chop it. Try to keep it about the same size as the grains of rice. I like having a nice bite of garlic in my rice pilaf. I'm a very textural kind of a person. I like to have different textures in a dish. Chopping the garlic up bigger like that's gonna help. Shallot. Cut the shallots about half the size of the garlic. They'll cook the same rate. Worthy little note there. I love shallots, I love garlic together. Mise en place ready to rip. Got the chopped garlic and shallot. We have all those chopped root vegetables and asparagus. Brown rice, 1 cup. We have 2 1/4 cup dark chicken stock. I roasted the bones, made the stock. We have our marinated Sriracha chicken. It's all about the battle plan, which we executed by chopping up all the ingredients first, measuring everything out, marinating the chicken. Now we just need to pan sear it and then just continue on with the process. Medium-ish heat. Just until you start seeing the smoke, pan starting to smoke. You do cast iron, you could do thick bottom stainless steel. I have avocado oil because it has a high smoke temp, but we're not cooking at a high temperature today. Good amount of oil in the bottom of the pan, probably like 2 tablespoons or so. You want to hear that nice little sizzle right there, okay? That sizzle sounds good. But it will splatter, so you need to be careful. We're gonna sear these on each side for about 2 minutes so it gets a good color. Open a window in the kitchen if you have one. This is kind of put a little bit of fumes in the air. If you have people that are sensitive to like capsaicin, then you probably want to crack open a window or turn a hood vent on if you have one. Perfect weeknight meal. Have your house smelling really good. If it smells good, odds are it's gonna taste good. Let's wait for the chicken to release from the pan. That's how you know when it's gonna be ready to flip. This isn't gonna cook the chicken all the way. We're just gonna sear it, get a good flavor out of it. Building flavors. You don't want to have too high of a heat either, because you can and probably will burn that marinade on the bottom of the pan. Where I don't want to burn it, I want to caramelize it slightly and use it as a building base for flavor for the finished rice pilaf. I mean, this is a dark pan too, so it's going to be hard to tell if that marinade is burning or not, but it's definitely not. It smells good. It smells like it's getting caramelized. Use your senses, man. Cooking's awesome because it uses all your senses. Now, we want to throw in some butter. 2 tablespoons worth of butter. It's definitely gonna add some richness to the dish. Melt down the butter, throw in the rice in. Let the butter brown, brunette. It's gonna give a nice nutty aroma to the rice. It's gonna give it a good flavor. All about building those flavors. Cooking's easy, dude. The butter is gonna help pull out that fond on the bottom of the pan as it melts. Butter is all melted, throw in the rice. The rice could take a little bit more heat now, so I'm cranking the pan up to like medium high. The little bubbling of the butter, you're gonna look for little brown edges on the butter. The rice is gonna get a brown color to it. It's already brown rice, but you're gonna be able to tell that it's getting a brown color on the outside of it. That's the solids, that's the milk solids, and the butter starting to brown. Smells good. Once the rice starts having a good aroma to it, that nutty aroma like I'm talking about, then that's when you wanna keep moving forward. Throw in a little bit more butter. I don't know, probably another tablespoon worth. You let that butter get coated in that rice, it's gonna take forever to melt. Once the butter melts all the way through, throw in the garlic and the shallot. Here's where you wanna add some salt to this. The salt's gonna pull out the moisture, pull out that beautiful flavor that garlic and the shallots have, that sweetness. We don't necessarily wanna caramelize the garlic and the shallots, but we wanna cook the shallots certain translucent and the garlic becomes fragrant. I do believe that we're on to the next step. So 1 cup of rice, 2 1/4 cup stock. Crank the heat up all the way. You wanna bring that to a simmer. Now I'm just tasting for salt content. It's good flavor to it. You can really sense a little bit of the heat. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of that salt. I'm just using my salt and pepper and garlic powder mixture to it. Really, it's just all seasoned to taste kind of a thing, dude. Once it starts to simmer like this, cover it with a lid and reduce the heat to like a medium low. Keep it at the simmer. Brown rice takes about 40 minutes to cook. So after the 20-minute timer goes off, I'm gonna add the vegetables, set the timer for 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna throw the chicken in the last 5 minutes of cooking time. The chicken has been cut thin enough that it's basically cooked about 3/4 of the way through, right? Timer's going off. So now, take the lid off. Whew, smells good. Now, carefully put the veg in. The vegetables might absorb some of the cooking liquid, so if you need to add a little bit more, then feel free to do so, okay? 15 minutes on this, and then the last 5 minutes, we're gonna add the chicken. I love that color on there, dude. So I wanna taste one of the pieces of rice too. See how close they are to being done. Needs about 5-6 more minutes cook time, and then we'll add the chicken. The times are all really estimated. I give time frames, but really you need to go more off of like actually putting a piece of rice in your mouth, seeing how done it is, and then going from there. It's your little chicken cutlets, so they're gonna cook the rest of the way through really quickly, and keep the heat ripping like it is, and then cover it. Another timer, and then we'll be good to go. Definitely want to temp the chicken. Make sure it's at least above 165. Everything looks cooked perfectly, dude. Check that out. That's what you're looking for, man. Damn good. Looking nice and tight, though. I mean, did you put that on a plate? You want it to hold its shape, just like that. This is amazing. I love the smell that's coming off of this. Plating is definitely one of my favorite parts of cooking. I mean, you put all this hard work into the dish, and then the final presentation is where you can get really creative with it. It's like building an art piece. And there you have it, man. Sriracha chicken and rice pilaf. Now we get to destroy this beautiful creation that we made. It's almost upsetting, but very exciting at the same time. Did all that good stuff in one bite. We got the chicken, we got the beets, we got the carrots, we got the garlic, we got the crispy carrots, and then we have the rice. Cheers. I don't know, man. I doesn't get any better than that. Just the perfect amount of heat to it. It's not overpowering. Absolutely 100% you want to give this one a try. It really is very simple to put together. It's delicious. Has a great amount of flavor. I love the textures, love the spice level on it, and I love how easy it is to make and minimal amount of cleanup. So give this one a try. Recipe, as always, will be in the description, and I'll see you next time, dude. Happy cooking, man.